as a former player, what are your thoughts on NIL and now the latest thing with guys from the G League?
Oh, man, I saw that headline, and my first reaction is that doesn't seem right. There should be consequences for all of our choices, and if you happen to leave prematurely from college and now you want to come back, there should be some consequences for that. I'm all for free choice, and I'm a huge proponent of NIL. It's long overdue, should have happened decades ago. It's happened as it's happened. It's chaotic. It's not where it needs to be, but I think we're going to get to regulation, to smoother ground, but it's the right thing. You never should be penalized for being on scholarship as an athlete. That's what non-NIL did. The transfer portal, you should always have freedom of movement, whether you should have just any number of transfer opportunities without consequences. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that, but the general principle of having the ability to transfer, being able to share in some of the huge money that's part of this ecosystem of big revenue college sports, primarily football and basketball, that's all legitimate. There should, but because you have the choice to come to college, there are stipulations for being in college. There are rules and regulations when you go to the pros. Now, when you choose to make a decision to land on a college campus or to go pro, then there are consequences to that choice. You don't have to come to college. You don't have to leave college early. But if you choose to do that, there's an accountability that's yours for how you handle the consequences of your decision. So if you left and you aren't able to cut it at the NBA or the G League level, then I don't know if you should, I don't know without further digging into it, if you should be allowed to, on first blush, I say no. But again, I'm not gonna close that door. Relatively young guy, 20 or 21. So maybe extenuating circumstances, but on the surface, you chose to go that route. There are consequences for that choice, good and not so good. Accountability for all of us is about living with our choices. And that to me is the first reaction I have. I say the same thing about kids who don't want to that don't want to do schoolwork. If you don't want to come to college, but you want to play basketball, you can go to Overtime Elite. You can go to the G League. But don't expect other people to bail you out if it doesn't work. That is my initial reaction. And at the same time, that's 80%. I want to see the other 20%. What are the other components of this other than the NCAA doesn't want to get involved? He's relatively young. We have college kids now that are in their early 20s because of transferring, COVID year. And so I think we've got to look at it in totality. But first blush, there's an accountability piece to the freedom you have to make choices for yourself. And I love that you have the choices, but there also should be consequences if they don't work out.
Thanks very much, Kellogg.
Oh, I killed the whole, but man, that